Dan's a fantastic man. He really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
So you look at Vegas and Esmeralda, I want to talk to you a little bit. So I've told you about a couple of times where I've written offers. I'm starting to see, we're not getting as many, right? But we're still in some cases going above. Yeah. This client that I have got beat out. They were going to 10,000 above on this offer I wrote.
What was the price point?
It was 350. So they came in at 360.
And that's what I'm saying.
And that's fine.
Anything, I would say this, anything below 400, if it's a decent property, is for sure going to receive multiple offers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually was looking at that price range, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, there was a line.
Yeah,
so
I know.
There was a line of, and I'm like, wait, I thought at first there was something going on in the neighborhood.
It's a new home, though, right?
No, it wasn't. These were resale.
Dude, these are resales.
No. I'm talking about your home that you bought.
Oh, no, mine was a resale. It was not a new home.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
Man, see, I thought she got like all these incentives when she used the builder's
lender.
lender.
No, what happened was I did have
see.
relationships that they listed the property, so I had to make extensive calls.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
She used
homeless.
her connections.
I did.
So what happened?
Play
You went
the
into it.
innocent girl.
What did your realtor tell you when you went into this situation? Were you like, okay, what kind of go down the road of what that person said?
Everybody said I was not going to get what I was looking for. One, they told me, hey, you're going to have to adjust and kind of.
That's a great way to start. You're not going to get what you're looking for, so just
they're like, what you're looking for is not.
Be discouraged.
Well, yeah, it's not realistic right now.
Well, look, I understand you got to let the client know, right? Like, okay, this is proper expectation, but you still got to say, look, we'll still try. Right. And look if you get process of elimination, if you get beat out and you see this happen consistently, unfortunately, you got to do a little bit more work with that type of clientele.
It usually takes care of itself.
And that did happen. I've been looking since last year, October, and I lost every offer to cash. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't even have a chance.
So that's the thing is we'll meet up.
I didn't even have a chance.
Yeah, we'll meet up and I'll say, okay, what are you looking for? Okay, well, just so you know, here's what we're looking at right now. And people will still want to stick to their guns, but believe me, they get run down sooner than later when you have a scenario like that because they keep on writing offers, getting beat out. Yeah. And I always say, listen, you're going to tire out before me. I do this for a living. This is all that I do. So I've got all the time in the world. You're not going to tire me out. I'll write 30 offers if you want. Yeah. But people aren't going to write 30 offers before they start changing things because they're...
I took a break.
You take a break or you reassess how you're going to go about things or what you want, on your priority list.
So what happened, Esmeralda?
So what I was doing, I started just going on my own and I just started looking at properties and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was staying up until like 4 a.m. every day.
Wow. You were going that hard, huh?
Yeah, I was. And I was able to find these properties at that time. And I don't know what it was that either they were listening. I don't know. But I was like, oh, shoot. Like, wow, I didn't realize that I was able to get a better opportunity at that time frame versus during the day with properties. And that's how I found that one. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
So I just, I called my agent at that time. I was like, hey, I know it's early. It's 5 a.m. But, dude, I need this yesterday. I'm going to make these calls. And then it happened to be people I knew that were all involved in this one specific. And I called them directly. I was like, it's me, Ez. I'm homeless. I need this.
So you used your connections.
No, I did, but I did use my connections. I had to get it. There was no way I could go around it.
No, listen, dude, I do the same thing. So I get
That was the only reason I was able to get it. I believe it had to do with my relationships. Yeah. But I did offer something that I felt like was reasonable, but it was something that I was not going to break me to. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I did offer some stuff that I thought was like, okay.
So you got to know people, and I also think,
especially in this town.
That's why I said you gotta.
Yeah. So what's the secret? Know people in this town.
Well, but let's say you're coming out of state. A lot of people, you're relying on the realtor to kind of support and help you, right? So you look at the situation, you tell them the realtor's like, you know what, I'm going to set that expectation, like you said. You know what, that price point's going to be tough. But I'm just going to say this: when you look at the situation, people have already set in their mind that this is as far as I want to go. And also, even if I have the money, I might not want to do that. And so there's already expectation. So you got to now say, okay, well, let me change that expectation that person has. A lot of times it's hard to do that.
It's about meeting and getting on the same page. But to be honest with you, in this market is happening all over the entire country. So where they're coming from the same thing is probably happening with the
you know
housing
what else,
market.
too,
So you
you
don't
guys-
have to really get in depth about, oh, here's what you need to do, because they get it, in this market. They get it.
You know what else, you guys? When I went there, I didn't even go inside. I just drove up. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then this was another thing I was doing, and this is so crazy. Oh my God, this is out in public, but I don't care. So what I was doing is I would drive to the neighborhood before I even told because I was like, I gotta make sure I like the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So
I always
was
suggest
driving.
buyers
Sometimes
do
I
that.
left my house at 2 a.m. and I drove, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't like this.
That's
This is
exactly
not
what
good.
you should do.
Because I was like, I like the house, it's perfect, but I don't like the neighborhood.
Do you guys, you know what I noticed about people in Vegas? There's not many people that sit out in the front yard.
Nope.
Not really, right?
It's hot though.
Yeah, even when it's not hot,
it
though.
kind of makes sense, Dan.
What is it?
110.
What is it? 2 or 3 months is hot, right?
Yeah.
But nobody has chairs. Nobody
No.
really. There's no area to say how I'm going to sit out front.
Yeah.
It's almost like
People-
But in the backyard,
it's the same thing. Like, there's not huge backyards, and you're right next to your neighbor. And same thing with just a lot of the kitchens. I'm not saying there's not nice kitchens in some of these homes, but just a lot of things aren't set up
right.
to revolve around the traditional family or
Oh, or-
dinner
or to-
or
or
things
to
like that.
entertain.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
your neighbors. I mean, man, I live in Summerlin, and I'll admit it. I mean, I've been in my house for 3 years now. And
know your neighbors?
I know what my neighbors look like.
You've
But
never
if-
met a neighbor
but if
in
we- if
3
we-
years, Brett?
If we were in a crowd, I wouldn't be able to pick them out.
You're not the type of person that brings over when they come in
Man.
and you knock on the door and here I got you guys some goodies. And
I
thank you
wave
for
when I
welcoming
drive.
my neighborhood.
I live in it's a little gated community. There's only 2 streets. My street and the street behind me. We're the only ones in there. And
So what do you do when you come by? You just do one of those,
I wave, but it's nobody. I'm not trying to be a dick or be mean. It's just nobody.
I think that's a good.
I keep to myself basically.
I think that it is good though to kind of introduce yourself to your neighbors because
Yeah.
When you're not there, they watch. Your
Oh, I
home.
agree. I
Right?
agree.
Like,
I'm
hey,
just,
we might not be best friends, but hey, I want to introduce I'm Esmeralda.
Yeah,
Here's some cookies.
Dude,
Hey, welcome.
I got the
you're
best
here.
neighbor, man.
Listen, I'm from the Midwest, man. We don't have walls there. It's like
I got the best
throw your
neighbor.
a beer.
So I'm over here. This guy's coming. We have a car, right? We had 4 cars in it. We were trying to sell one.
Yeah.
So this guy's over here looking at a car. He comes pulling in.
Is this your neighbor?
My neighbor, and he's looks over, kind of peeking out the area. I was like, "What's going on over here?" So, hey, Dan, you good? I said, "I'm good." And he's like, "Okay, you let me know if you're not good." I was like, "All right."
That's awesome,
Thanks,
man.
you guys
Really?
are
back. All right.
That's cool, man. Yeah, dude, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's just, I'm not trying to go out of my way. It's just people in my neighborhood. It's live in an older community, so everyone's kind of keeps
I
to
had a
themselves.
neighbor where I lived in my other community when I lived in Rose Ranch. At first, I didn't like it because I was like, "Damn, he's nosy." I don't know. I feel almost invaded him. But then I thought about it because he has kids and he was always out in the front. And
Yeah.
But every time I was out or he saw somebody drive my house, he would come out to make sure
Yeah.
okay, who's this person coming over here?
I'm a man. I'll make sure you're safe.
Well, no, but it was a family. But at first, I didn't like it. I was like, "Why is this guy?" And then,
Yeah.
my cousin lived right next door to him.
Bro, I
And
got
then-
this. I don't need you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just like, wait. But then I was like, you know what? That's kind of good because, God forbid, I'm not here. I
Yeah.
travel a lot.
Yeah.
Something goes down. I mean, no, he's
Esmeralda
he's out. He's out there. man.
Esmeralda pulls out a 45. Don't worry, dude. I got this. Say hello to my
Hey.
little friend.
Come on with a pistol, a rifle and shit.
Hey, you know what's crazy is that I think a lot more women are starting to try to carry guns, right? I mean, concealed
They
weapons.
should.
Hey, my dad took all of us.
Yeah.
And he
there
took
you
us
go.
shooting. We would go.
I know every girl I grew up with knows how to
I
shoot.
was like, wait, this is too heavy for me. My dad's
they
like,
do. They do, dude.
And my dad would come back and I'm like, hey, this gun is too heavy. My dad's like, don't worry about it. Here, I got a collection here. This one's good
Yeah.
for you.
So do you carry you have a gun, right? I'm assuming.
I don't have one right now.
Oh, you don't have one right now.
She's got 4 of them.
Okay.
I don't.
Everybody
I
needs to
don't.
know that. You always carry on you.
I'm not against it, but I think you should, as a woman, you should,
Yeah.
you should be protected.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You should be safe. I got other weapons. No, I'm just fine.
So going into buying this house, because we're talking about the Las Vegas
Yes.
market, we're talking about confidence. You were not in a multiple offer scenario then.
No, I was.
You were.
I
Okay.
was.
Did you go over list?
I did go over list a little bit.
Wow.
She knew the people involved, so she knew what she had to do to get the house.
So do you
I
mind
mean-
asking how much over list you went?
I went 10 over.
Wow. Okay.
I went 10 over, and I just added covering some of the closing costs, and
There you go.
And they said that I had the best offer.
Yep.
So
There's a tactic out there.
Yeah.
Like you could say, hey, you know what? We're going to go 10 above.
Dude, there's,
and I didn't do
there's,
a lot.
there's multiple different ways.
tax, and then
Multiple
you know what?
ways
If
to
the
go about
appraisal
it.
doesn't come back, if you don't put that
Yeah.
in there, you can say, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to lower the appraisal. You know, I'll still
Yeah.
pay you what you want. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Like I had that buyer this week. They said, you know, do you think we should go over? I said, let's write it for 5 over.
Yeah.
And just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because unless I said, so agent.
Mine met the appraisal, so I did add that.
Well,
and it still met the
listing
appraised
agent at
value,
that point can do 2 things. They can sit there and say, okay, sounds good. So they're willing to go 5 over and get it signed. Or if they're smart and they know what they're doing, they're going to counter me back and say, cool, is your buyer willing to waive in the difference if it appraises lower? But I'm not going to tell that to them. I'm going to make them force to counter that. Sometimes they'll counter it. Sometimes they won't. If they don't, sweet.
Yeah.
But those are the things you need to know what to do.
Yeah, but
You
that
know?
comes from your agent. That's why it
Yeah.
matters who your
It
agent
100%
is. And
matters.
For
Yeah.
me, it saved me because I just know a lot of people. So I was like, oh, okay, I have a chance now.
How many offers did you put in before you finally got
Oh my
one
God,
accepted?
a lot.
Was
A
it?
lot,
Because that
yes.
price point's pretty tough, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty challenging,
Yeah.
right?
I started off with 300.
Dude, you have no idea.
Yeah, I started off with 3, but I didn't even have a chance. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I would go see it, and it was like lines of people.
Yeah.
And then you didn't even have a chance to see them when they're like, hello, the other realtor's coming in, and you had to leave. I'm
You
like,
need to write.
wait,
You need to
what?
write to offer first. See it second.
Yeah, absolutely. In those price ranges, you
Yeah,
do.
you
Yeah.
do. I always tell to my buyers, they're like, is it possible? Yeah. If you care about getting your offer accepted and saving our time.
I think, and that price range is it's a very desirable price.
Very
and,
desirable.
And there was lines. I mean, I experienced it. I was kicked out of many homes. They're like,
Yeah.
hello, and my was like, you got to leave. I was like, wait, but I'm not done. I got to look at the
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah.
You're sorry,
So-
your time's up. Next.
Yeah, and,
So-
and they would wait in line. I mean, literally a line. I couldn't even find a parking spot.
I know.
I was like, what? This
I
is
know.
crazy.
I had this last weekend. I know.